welcome to an episode of Hive Mind on the Stinger Network. We are a week away from another season getting underway, and going into the 25-26 season, there are plenty of storylines for fan of the expansion era 2 to keep an eye on. Most exciting may be the relocation that happened during the summer. The team formerly known as the Visionaries has changed ownership, and new manager Roger should be eager to make an impact in his first year with Team You're Hella Fucked. I'm sorry, it's actually the team formerly known as Victoria's Secret. The team formerly known as the Visionaries is still in the league. We've already had a trade, and it's a big one. Throughout all of last season, we only saw a single first-round pick get moved, and yet this year, we have one traded a week before the season even starts, more than a week before the season even starts. And it was traded away by a team who selected this guy 4th overall, leaving both Cole Caulfield and Contract Kempe on the board. His name's Zeev. It's like Steve, but ridiculous. Anyway, the full trade was a 1st, a 7th, and a 12th for a 16th, 15th, 14th, and Sam Reinhart. Reinhart will be 30 in a month, and has been a point-per-game player only 3 times in his 10-year NHL career. 2 of those years coming the last 2 seasons while he played a majority of his time with Matthew Tkachuk, who is set to miss the first 3 to 4 months of the season. The good news is, Rhino will certainly be more impactful than Stanier Lane's first-round selection, so you can't knock that use of next year's first-rounder. On the flip side of this deal, we see an interesting decision to sell from the Book of Eli. Steven has managed one of the most consistent and successful, outside of a championship, teams of the last half-decade with finishes of 2nd, 9th, 3rd, and 4th. However, this year seems more interested in shaking things up than running it back, as trade rumors continue to swirl. These types of decisions are not new for this franchise, who dealt away Draisaitl, brought in McKinnon, sent out Matthew Tkachuk, brought in Quinn Hughes, and more, all in a span of a couple days just a few seasons ago. Who knows what will happen next? But if there's someone you can trust to not be afraid of shaking things up, it's this team. Before we get into things to watch for this season, I'd like to take a look at the draft we just had and point out some of the question mark picks and value steals. Can't work like this. I've got 5. Here we go. Question mark picks. Winona. Winnie. Winby. Get over here. Meow. She's fine. She loves it. Question mark picks. In order from least crazy to most crazy. Least questionable to most questionable. At 5th, we have Zane Parek? Zane? 25th overall. Now, it's a little excusable because of some of the names we're going to talk about on this list, but still taking a rookie defenseman, unproven, not even guaranteed to make the team, is he? At 25th overall? A little crazy. Value steals. We're going to go 5-5-4-4-3-3. Value steals at 5th overall. Least valuable of the value steals to most. Stuart Skinner. 66th overall. What can you say? That's a starting goalie for a Stanley Cup contending team, 66th overall. That's value. Whether it works out or not, who knows? It's value. Number 4, on the question mark side, Tony Stolarz, 14th overall. We're talking about starting goalies locked in for championship contenders. Stuart Skinner, 66. Tony Stolarz, 14th. Wool is there. The Leafs got worse. There's a bit of a timeshare. Tony Stolarz has never played more than 34 games in a season. On the value side, value steals, number 4, Mika Zibanejad, 46th overall. Top line, top power play, a good power play, This guy was a keeper for multiple years. 46th overall is a steal. Question mark picks. Number 3, Alexander Nikishin. I don't even think this is a question mark pick. I think this is a lock. This is for you guys, so I put it on the list. Value picks, value steals. We're getting into some crazy numbers here. At 157th overall, it's Trevor Zegras. Top line center, power play 1, change of scenery. It should work out for Trevor Zegras. Number 2 in the question mark picks is Nazem Kadri. He went 5th overall. Ahead of everybody. Ahead of all the same people that Zeev, I haven't even talked to them yet, is Nazem Kadri. He went ahead of too many people. Too many people that shouldn't have. In a league where center depth is easy to find in the later rounds and on the waiver wire, taking a center only at 5th overall is a little crazy. Question mark. Onto the value steals. 73rd overall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think we've got second line center here, but we've got first line power play with exposure to Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, one of the most effective PP units out there. That's just value at 73rd overall. The number 1 question mark pick, I'm not even going to say it. I don't need to say it. We all know who it is. It's not, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm not gonna say it. Moving on to the value steals, the biggest value steal of the draft. 167th overall. It's Andrei Kuzmenko. Again, we're talking top line PP. We're talking top line, first line on the KKK line, which is just, that's cool, right? He shoots, he takes dumb penalties, he scores goals. Value there. Honorable mentions there. I had Cousins at 89, Spencer Knight at 153, and Patrick Laine at 123. But those are just honorable mentions. They don't make the list, so they don't count. As has been demanded to become tradition due to the results and fanfare, and also known as being the only projections worth paying attention to when it comes to the expansion era 2, the Oracle, the Seer, nay, the Beer, EE2 insider Beeb McKenzie has released his preseason projections, and we've got them here first. We'll work our way bottom to top. We're not going to go too deep in these. This is from Beeb's mind, not ours. We'll look to his Twitter for explanations. In 12th place, projected, You're Hella Fucked, which the name seems to fit. In 11th, it's Ray's Rizzy Rollers, which is just hard to say. In 10th, Young and Supple LLC, 10th place, Young and Supple. In 9th, The Carillers. 8th place, Zelminator. In 7th, Where is Zeehyman? I don't know. Last year, Beeb's projections got all 6 playoff teams right, all 6 non-playoff teams right. So for those of you who care, this could be important. In 6th place, The Book of Eli. In 5th place, West Coast Young Bloods. In 4th, Ahovio. In 3rd, Stay in Your Lane. In 2nd, that's a drum roll, Dixon Dynasty. And first, Beowulf. Yeah, we're going to win. I'm biased, I'm sure, by Beeb and by me saying we're going to win. Now, who doesn't like awards? I mean, besides the management of EE2, since they've stopped doing them. But here at the Stinger Network, we know people love awards, so we've put some together for you. One for every team. These are the most awards. Looking at the rosters, the state of the franchises, we've put together a list of the most blank for each team. There's a train going by right now, and I'm almost certain that's going to be picked up, as is, for whatever reason, me having my volume on like a fucking rookie here. We'll go in order of first to last from last season's standings. The Zelminator. The most unlikely dynasty. Question mark. Question mark. Book of Eli. The most trades. Young and Supple LLC. The most tired. Aho VO crew? I think they're still crew. The most Celebrinis. The Carillers. The most angry they didn't get a young D-man in the draft. West Coast Youngbloods. The most average keepers. Thanks for your help. Ray's Rizzy Rollers. The most forgettable. Beowulf. The most to prove. Where is Z Hyman? The most on the hot seat. Stay in your lane. The most crazy first round pick. Dixon Dynasty. The most expectations to win. You're hella fucked. The most intriguing. With all that in mind, let's continue the trend and look a little deeper at each team. For the fans out there, we've got one thing to be most excited about for each franchise this season. Zelminator. Consistency. Quietly contending most seasons, coming off a championship and another podium finish 3 years ago. With non-flashy stars, it's a team that knows what it's doing and does it well. Book of Eli. Expect chaos. Wild Bill is not one to shy away from anything, with Sam Reinhart already shipped out and Kel McCarr rumors swirling. 2 first-round picks before the season even gets underway. Who knows what's to come over the year? And that's exactly why we were all fans of this team. Because it's not afraid to do something crazy. Young and Supple LLC. Expect change. Perennial favorites over the years and a GM with a knack for improving his roster even when trying to sell it. This could be a year of change for Young and Supple LLC. Crosby's 38. Draisaitl's 30. McDavid's turning 29. This team is far from as young and supple as it used to be. With McDavid's NHL team and next contract up in the air, so could his ownership in EE2. And even if not, after years of selling, does this old and stiff team have another run in it? Or will they be watching the playoffs from the outside, as they usually do the first 5 rounds of the draft? Ahovio. Expect continued improvement. This franchise has only gotten better year after year, and with Macklin Celebrini locked up, the long-term prospects are just as good as the short-term. 4th overall last year may just be a stepping stone to greater finishes. The Carillers fans can look forward to a healthy Kaprizov. This team's name really should be Take My Kaprizov, because watching Kirill the Thrill makes me want to drop my pants. With him healthy and at his best, he can carry this team to a playoff spot. West Coast Youngbloods. Fans can be excited for a year off. Life is tough. Life is busy. So much goes on. So much happens in just a year. And we've only really got 40 to 50 of them left. And being a fan of a team can take precious time away. So be excited that you can take a step back this year. Check in next season to see what changes have been made and if there's anything more exciting. Don't do it. Don't do it. Barbashev and Lee should be good, though. Smart decisions there. Rays Rizzy Rollers. Fans of this franchise can be excited about contention and Jackson Lacombe. One thing about Rays Rizzy Rollers is they never give up. They never really go for it either. But with finishes in the last 5 years of 7th, 9th, 5th, 10th, and 8th, you can guarantee they'll be fighting for a playoff spot down the stretch. And what more can you really ask for? Adding some keeper players under new coaches and one in a contract year, this team could be a sneaky contender. And then there's Jackson Lacombe. A savvy keeper decision made by the Riz, and one that is surely going to pay off. With only a handful of premium D keepers, they may have just found their own. Beowulf. Fans can be excited for expectations. Expectations. This team turned over a new leaf 3 years ago when the owners sold off franchises in other leagues and dedicated his focus to this one. Since then, there have been 2 playoff appearances before selling everything last year. But that leaves them in a new position this year with dedicated ownership, strong keepers, and a strong roster to start the season that should be ahead of other iterations. This may be the first time with real championship expectations. Where is the Hyman? Fans can be excited for humility, I guess. Losing Sasha Barkov before the season and for the season is a huge loss, especially for a team with one of the weaker forward keeper groups. Though the team has a strong goalie tandem and a decent back end, the offensive stats will not be there. Stay in your lane. Can be excited for the future. With plenty of kids on and off the ice, fans can be excited about the future. Whether that's this year, next year, 3 years from now, the team is unrecognizable from just a couple of seasons ago, and honestly, it's looking pretty good. With a very young, exciting keeper core, they may not be able to click this season, but that's where all the draft stock accrued last year comes into play. This team is balanced, strong, and has potential like no other in the league. One thing not to be excited about is selecting Zeev 4th overall. Dixon Dynasty. I mean, just be excited to be a fan of this franchise. They took off last year, stocked the draft cupboards with the help of a fellow GM, and still boast one of the best keeper units in the league. This should be another year of meaningful games into late March for the Dynasty. You're hella fucked. Fans can be excited for new ownership. No surprise here. The fans, the league, everybody. New owner Roger has a lot of work ahead of him. The excitement is palpable from fellow managers and fans alike. He's in a unique position here where there are no real success-based expectations. People are aware of the team he inherited. However, the microscope will definitely be on him for activity. Swapping out one inactive manager for another would not be a good look on the league. With a handful of off-season moves and a loud desire already to improve suspected weak positions on his roster coming into the final week before the season, we should be in good hands. Now, for the final segment of today's show, I've got a very special and very important guest. Pablo Torbi is an investigative journalist and has a story he'd like to share. We've got him on the phone now. Torbi, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thanks for this interview and the platform here for me to get this out. I've spent a long time keeping an eye on the league management here as there has been some sketchy things going on. Last year, Young and Supple LLC was able to keep a non-rookie in their rookie keeper spot until a fellow GM brought it to the attention of the entire league of managers. However, what I've found this year is more egregious and shows what I believe is a concerted effort of Commissioner Peng and Bill to help and aid specific teams while keeping others down.
Are you able to divulge any of this for us now?
Happily. It is all out there now between the owners, as my sources confirmed, so everyone who needs to know knows at this point. But I think it's now time that the fans and the people who follow this league deserve to be shown behind the curtain as well. From what has been shared with me by my source, the league isn't going to do anything about this, so maybe public pressure will help.
I agree 100%. Well, Pablo, we've got the screenshots and evidence that you kindly shared with us ready to go. So if you want to break it down for us, please do.
Well, it's like this. The offseason was a weird one for the EE2. For the second year in a row, the award winners were not disclosed publicly, and I believe were not even awarded behind the scenes. An interesting factor here that, and I'll let you be the judge, may be a consistent slight throughout this story, is that one franchise in particular was certainly in line to win an award or two that season, one that traditionally had gone to the commissioner, a huge conflict of interest in my opinion. On top of the lack of the awards, the annual vote on league referendums was not held during the offseason and was only rushed in the last week. Some items were shot down by Peng without a vote. I've even been told league finances for this season haven't been agreed to yet. I have evidence of league GMs needing to plead with the commissioner to have the draft lottery take place. All of that also coupled with an absurdly early draft date before NHL preseason started, and you can see the dysfunction going on. Before I get to the real heart of the story, I want to paint a picture. Both Commissioner Peng and Bill also managed team in Expansion Era 2. How they are able to manage a league and their own team in a fair way, I don't know. And at this point, I don't think they do either. There's also a clear favoritism to two other franchises, Young and Supple LLC and Dixon Dynasty. These teams have had a ton of success in this league and drive ratings. It's no wonder that Bill's team happened to overpay and feed Dixon in their first year of tanking in years. And then guess who won the draft lottery? Yeah. Young and Supple LLC seems to manage to get lopsided trades not only agreed to, but also pushed through the league office with no problem. Almost always from a franchise who is more of an unknown and quiet one. Perhaps a seed team put in place by league management. Now here comes the kicker, and the main issue we're looking at. The draft order and draft lottery odds were incorrect. On top of the league darling, Dixon Dynasty, winning the lottery, this seed team was also rewarded a higher draft position than it should have been. It doesn't end here, though. We've talked about the league favorites, but let's talk about the franchises the league sees as a threat to its current grip. Both stay in your lane and be a wolf ended up with worse draft picks and odds than they should have. Two franchises that are fan favorites, but not in the inner circle. Two franchises whom the other managers like to make jokes about, especially when it comes to winning pedigree. He's Buffalo. He's a diva. Retire already. You make bad trade offers. We make good trade offers. The inner circle group would hate for one of these teams to win and call into question their integrity. And this offseason provides ample evidence in a year where both of these franchises sold well and set themselves up positively for next season. Both of them were awarded a draft position below where they actually should have been. And of course, neither won the lottery. That non-public, last-minute, inner circle one lottery. This whole thing has been brought to the league's attention, and the reaction, well, was an oops, won't happen again. Some finger-pointing by Commissioner Pang and Bill, and then followed by immediate misdirection from both of them. I'll leave you with the fact that Commissioner Pang's only championship also has an asterisk beside it, and implore you to keep a close eye on things if you choose to continue to follow this league. Things are not as they seem.
Wow. I don't know what to say there. That's a lot to think about. I know, Pablo, you mentioned before we got on air that Mark QB has just sent a bunch of tweets at you, so I'll let you go and handle that. Thank you for this. And for the fans at home, I'm signing off as well. Enjoy the season.